Welcome everyone to this month's Astrocolorscope. My name's Elizabeth Harper. My website is sealedwithlove.com. So the idea of the Astrocolorscope is that in a moment I'm going to dip my hands into this bag of crystals, take 3 crystals for your star sign, individual star sign, and then I'll throw those crystals into a group of the 12 houses just to see where they land. Then I'm going to read the energy of the crystal, the color of the crystal, where the crystals landed, and I'm also going to take a bead from this bag to have an extra little bit of color or whatever else wants to come up from that bag, and I'll take a card from the Voyager deck tarot, and these cards are collages. So what I want you to do then is take a look at the card that comes up for you and see what most attracts you in that card. Then ask yourself, what does that mean? And see what the message is that comes to you. So it's a little bit more individual. So before we get started though on that part of our Astrocolorscope, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the aspects that are coming up this month for July. So the first of the month, between the 1st and the 3rd, it's kind of a little bit exciting because Venus is conjunct Jupiter. Venus is the planet of love, of course, and Jupiter is a planet of expansion and joy and luck. So these two planets are coming together. It's almost like they're giving each other a hug or a big fat kiss, you know. So there's a sense that there's joy that's coming up in relationships, happiness that's coming up. Your heart is being fulfilled. And also at the same time, there's a Uranus and Mercury aspect that's coming in. So you can expect the unexpected. Communications are filled with love. Then on the 2nd of July, there's a full moon in Capricorn as well. And with this, there's a Sun trine Neptune all at the same time. So it's like the universe is saying, let's have a great time at the beginning of July. This is a fabulous time to fulfill your heart's desires. So it's a great time to get married. It's a great time to propose. It's a great time to fulfill whatever it is you want to achieve right now that is close to your heart, because of that Venus energy. It's bringing love into it. And Jupiter, of course, means that great opportunities are coming up. So this is a fabulous time to make your wishes. And, you know, even though the full moon is about a culmination and a completion, it's still a great time to make your wishes and just open up to the universe and to the abundance of the universe. There's also the sense of, you know, pursuing a vision as well. And especially with that Neptune energy, because Neptune is about the imagination. And with the sun, there's a sense of light coming in. So a vision that may have been blocked, or imagination, or if you've had writing issues, then it's almost like a dam opens up and that energy flows through you so that then your vision can be expanded. You know exactly where you're going. Your imagination is really hot. So it's a great time to write as well. This is a good time to write, especially as Mercury is going in the right direction for a change, right? So it's a great time for creativity, and again for that passion, whatever you are passionate about right now. Then the beginning of the month is the perfect time to get that energy moving for you. On the 6th, there is a sun that the sun is opposing Pluto, and then on the 9th, Mars is opposing Pluto. So with the sun opposing Pluto, there's an intensity, because Pluto is an intense planet. It's an intense body. So it's almost like, you know, you don't always get what you want. There's a sense of a tantrum that's coming up with that sun, because the sun is, oh, everything's fabulous, everything's wonderful, and then Pluto comes up and says, well, it might not be, because you need to transform something. You need to change something. You need to look at what's going on in your life. And especially with that Mars energy coming up at the same time, almost at the same time. So it can be a little bit of an overbearing time between the 6th and the 9th of the month. It may be that, you know, anger is coming up a little bit more. Energy is coming up to be cleansed. Anything that you've stuffed down there, like irritations or or grievances, that may start to kind of come to the surface. But at the same time, that is an energy dynamic as well, especially with the Sun and Mars. Very hot, very fiery, and you could use it to your advantage. So this could be a great time to get things moving, to get action and heat and passion behind whatever it is you've wanted to get off the ground. So it could be like a little rocket that's being set under you to get things moving. It doesn't have to be negative, doesn't have to be challenging. Then we have the new moon that's coming up in Cancer in the middle of the month on the 16th. Cancer is the home of the home, so it could be around that time that you could start to change things around your home, move your furniture around, just like I've been doing in my office. I've already gotten that energy, and it could well be that you start to plan parties and things that will be more home-based or family-based, connections with your family. So then July 25th, there is a big aspect, a big shift, and that is Venus going retrograde. So at the beginning of the month, we have this Venusian energy, and towards the end of the month, it's coming up again. And when it moves retrograde, it's really about, going inside, connecting again to what you most want, as opposed to looking outside of yourself and maybe relationships. So also around that time, Uranus is going retrograde, and Saturn is retrograde. It's been retrograde since March. So it's like three big planets, three big energies are all moving in reverse. So if we feel into that, if we feel into Venus, which is that planet of love, compassion, desire, joy, and excitement as well, that's in Venus, and all of that is going inside. Saturn is again in that reverse mode as well, so it's almost like you're having to look at what is really important to you. And Uranus going retrograde, it's always a planet of the unexpected, but because of that internal energy that's coming up, it could be that the rug gets pulled from underneath you a little bit, and so then energy has to emerge. So it feels like there's a strength that's coming from that. It doesn't feel negative. It feels like, in the immediate instance, it looks like it's negative, and then something shifts, and you can see a new strength, a new gift, a new talent that emerges from you. That's the sense of it for me anyway. It feels like it clears out the emotions, but to clear it out means that then you find this new ability. Right at the end of the month, there is another full moon. So this is a 2 full moon month. So this is in Aquarius, and with Aquarius, it's a little bit more intellectual. It's a little bit more mind oriented. So again, you have that kind of emotions that are going internally. That focus isn't on the internal life. So your emotions could be a little bit in turmoil because you don't quite know where they are. They're going inside, and then there's this Aquarian energy that's coming up, and it's like a thinking part. So you may be like a fish out of water if you're a very emotional person, and it may be that you just cannot figure out what's going on emotionally, and you might just have to focus a little bit on the intellectual side and maybe where those emotions are coming from, how they are impacting your life, what you can do about creating a balance in your life. And there's another energy that's coming from that. It feels like there's a need to start journaling now as well. And journaling's always good, but there's a sense of journal, and then you can bring this new energy up and out and into your future. And September feels like it's going to be a little bit clearer, but August, this energy is still going on. All right then, so let's get started on the crystals for your star sign. Okay, Taurus. So for you, you have this beautiful piece of apophyllite that went into your third house. And this is so sparkly. I love apophyllite. It connects you to the angelic realm. It connects you to a higher vibration. But because of that, because it's clear, it also asks you to speak your truth and to come into a place of truth. So it stops pretense. So if you've been lying to yourself, you've been lying to others, you haven't been totally honest, then this energy is going to help you to see it possibly in others, maybe see it reflected in others. And if it's annoying you in other people, then you need to start looking at it within yourself. This went into your third house. Your third house is about communication. It's about connecting to your community, your neighborhood. There's an essence of education and teaching in this. So I feel almost as if, you know, especially around the moon cycles this month, because of this white color particularly, that it's almost like you're getting some form of education. You are learning about yourself and maybe learning about where you are less than honest with yourself. So this is about releasing negativity as well. Because of that, it almost looks like a little rain cloud as well. It looks like a tear that's coming down. So this could be a bit of an emotional month for you, but it's a very healing time. There's lots of sparkles in here. It connects you to angels, fairies, divas, gardens, nature, etc. So get out into nature. It will help you to heal. It will also help you to find the honest part of yourself, find where you need to be in your truth. And this is not to say you're telling some big lie or something, that's not it, but it could just be that you haven't grasped the truth about a situation or about yourself. And this month it looks like that is coming to a fore, and you're gonna learn a little bit more about yourself through the act of understanding what's going on around you. Interesting, I'm getting a little thing in my throat here. So I feel that it's about communication as well, that you may need to speak up this month, and it could be that, you know, you've held on to something that you haven't made public, and now you're going to make it public. You're going to share it with others. That was it. Good. So then in the 8th house, this piece of lavender obsidian went into your 8th house. And your 8th house is about death and rebirth and the occult. It's an energy of connecting to spirit. And it's a lavender energy, you know, and it's interesting to me because lavender in the energy field, when I see it in people's auras, they often have this wild imagination. They live in a fantasy world. It's almost like Disneyland in there. So what's interesting to me is because you have this apophyllite and you have this as well, and there's a sense of travel, a little bit of travel in these two houses as well, that it may be that you are going to a place of fantasy, a place of imagination. It might be that you go to the movies more this month than you have done in the past, and dreams start to emerge, and those dreams are connected with your wishes. The lilac is about transformation, but I really feel that there's an aspect of fantasy that comes with it, of this kind of imagination, the dreams that are going into your future. And this all feels good, by the way. This kind of energy feels good. Doesn't feel like you're kidding yourself. And then the final stone is green aventurine, and this went into your 11th house. Your 11th house is about connecting with friends, a larger community, a desire for social change, that kind of thing. With green, green again connects you with nature. So there's a little bit of a theme going on here. There's a going out into nature, being healed, reconnecting to the land, maybe reconnecting to the environment as an environmentalist, or maybe you're thinking about saving the planet in some way, or it could be that you're going to go to a class on something that is connected to the environment and maybe connected to nature spirits as well. With this green, I'm feeling pain. So I'm feeling like a friend they could be that they've gone into a relationship and, you know, your relationship with them is not quite as, it's not at the top of their list anymore, you know, because they've got somebody else. So I feel that there's a little bit of pain coming up around a friendship for you. And it's nothing big. It's just a sense of, you know, it's time to heal and move on. Now, with these two energies, this is about letting go, but it's not a drastic letting go. It's a healing letting go. And then when we come with these two vibrations, these are about change. But again, they're very light colors, so it's not a drastic change. It's something that you are already putting into place right now. So let's see what card we get. Oh, nearly forgot the bead, didn't I? So we have this clear bead that is a rainbow crystal. So all the colors of the rainbow are in it, but because it's clear, just like the sapophyllite has that clarity as well, it's saying that you are clearing something out of your life. But I feel that these are droplets of tears. So, you know, tears are salt water, they're cleansing. It's just getting rid of something that's been stored up, and that's good. It has to be good. So interestingly, the card that came up for you is fear. So take a look at that card. Find something that really attracts you in the card, then ask yourself, what does that mean? What does that mean? So when I look at this card, I see this pink kind of seaweed that's sort of moving around here, and then I'm looking at these colors and the crystals that you get here, and I feel as if some part of your childhood is moving out. So, you know, you might be just clearing out all your old stuff, and some of it comes from your childhood. There's some connection with children or childhood that comes up for me, for you this month. And with this clearing out as well. One last thing with this, I'm just being reminded that it looks like a little disco ball. So you may find yourself wanting to go out for a boogie, you know, a dance. Boogie shows my age, right? But going out for a dance. So that will get the energy moving. And, you know, part of these tears could just come out with sweat. So, you know, with those dance movements. So there's a sense of something that is being released, but it doesn't have to be kind of difficult and challenging. It can be really joyful. Okay, that's it for this month's Astrocolorscope. Hope you've enjoyed it. Do remember to grab my free colour kit at bit.ly/colour kit. And also remember that I do different kinds of readings on my website, sealwithlove.com. I offer crystal gem readings and card readings and soul guidance and all kinds of different things. Plus, I have a store.sealwithlove.com, where I offer all kinds of different jewelry, this bracelet and necklace and rings and lots of meditations and books, of course, etc. So I look forward to seeing you very soon. Do check out my other oracles, the Crystalscope and the Colorscope. Lots of coloricious blessings to you. Bye!